And so they did. They both descended the big tree and the girl almost fell when she loses her balance for a second. Kana suggests if she wants to get a rest for a while. Later, as they are sitting on the ledge, Liliha asks what are the brown things that are hanging by the treeside. The boy answers that they are pupae of the tree bugs. The girl is worried if those things could attack them and Kana says they'll go around it. Then she asks of how many days will it take for them to reach the ground, and as the boy makes his estimation for a while, he responds it'll be about 30 days. Meanwhile, a cavalry group is venturing the snow sea led by a man named Orinago. Then they noticed a Valgian soldier floating in the middle of the sea. They now think that this must be the place where Liliha's group has vanished, as they see a tree collapsing from afar. The two main characters notice it too from afar as a large portion of a tree branch falls behind them as well. On the other side of the seabed, Valgian soldiers are discussing their intel about why the Atlant country are pursuing the floater. Apparently they believe in such ludicrous story like the legend of the sage, and the lieutenant laughs for what these people are thinking. That night, the two already have their meal, then Liliha gives a floating bag to the hero. She explains that this will make him float and prevents him from sinking into the snow sea below. She also remembers about her mom, on how soft her voice is when she's telling her stories. Like the legend of the sage, she recalls hearing that this sage can create water just by a swing of his cane, and from his cane originates the birth of the first orbital spire tree. But the war between people made the sage sad and he returned to the forest. After that, the world was covered by the thick snow over the seafloor. Unfortunately, they don't have that kind of power in the village, Kana says. Later they couldn't sleep so they talk about what makes her decide to use a balloon to go to his village. The girl answers it's because of the light. It's the same thing they saw a while ago that made her believe that the sage is real. She remembers about the night when she is sad and missing her departed mother. She wanders around by the sea, then she got lost. That's when she saw the green creature for the very first time as it floats away into the forest above. She also thinks that must be the forest where the sage now resides, but no one believes her story. Kana saw it before as well, when he rescued her beside the hull of the Canopy. Liliha also shows him a necklace. She added it must have been fallen from the forest where she found it, and she cherishes it a lot. Back with the cavalry group, they saw the horse creature of Liliha's leader as it lies dead on the seafloor. The soldiers then later show their respects for the heroic deed done of the brave creature. Back to the hero, nature calls and the girl has to do it, so she strongly advised the boy not to look for the meantime. Kana did that, but then he noticed a rainbow as he accidentally turns his attention to Liliha. He got a super punch after that made him almost to cost his life. Soon later, they are now descending in a spiral-like hall of the tree. They sit down and have a chat, and the girl mentions that the bugs are almost everywhere. Kana explains, it's because the insects are fixing the canopy as well, so they have to be careful of not overhunting them. As the lieutenant is looking using his telescope, he sees a green light glowing inside the crevice of the tree. He thinks that there are people residing in that area, but the woman says they cannot go there without using a floater. The two somehow reached a great distance of their journey, as Liliha is overjoyed with such an amazing sky view. Then Kana sees something like a vessel over the sea, and the girl notices it too as she sees more soldiers are heading to their direction. But it's too late, the Valgian soldiers already blocked their path. The commander named Amalathi was immediately alerted after seeing the cavalry group as fast approaching. Orinago sees the princess from afar and ordered his men to go and attack the fleet now. Kana is wondering on why are we running away, as she responds that they are enemies and they will hurt us if we get caught by them, so run fast. With no other options, the two jumps high and lands directly to the floater nearby. Next plan is to use their floating bag on the seabed and the girl agrees, so they jump again, landing this time on the snow sea. An amazing thing happened as they saw the beautiful ecosystem underneath the orbital spire tree. It is a colossal tree with gigantic roots stemming endlessly below them. But it's time for them to go up, so they prepare themselves as they float together towards the surface. After that, the captain sees them both and moves forward to rescue them. Little did they know the enemies come prepared as Amalathi orders her other ships to block their path. And the villains initiates the assault as the ships catapult large boulders towards the cavalry in which they're struggling to avoid. The lieutenant was surprised because they couldn't land a single hit on them. The rescue team is within reach from the princess, however the boulders got them because of the naval ship already nearby. Next, both of them has been captured by the enemies and the princess fainted from extreme exhaustion. Surprisingly, Liliha fights back and immediately she got surrounded by the soldiers. But in the end she got subjugated while the hero tries to retaliate using his gun. Amalathi responded quickly to his actions and disarmed the boy with his hook. She tells the boy of how strange his clothings are, as she is not familiar with his weapon too. Good fate is still on their side on the arrival of the cavalry captain Orinoga and starts knocking down the soldiers one by one. Amelothi as a dark paladin herself battles the man using her sword and shield. The second round got so serious when the woman starts striking with a powerful slash, one swing after another. Denigo arrives as well and is designated to save the princess instead, but immediately has been hit by the shield of Amelothi. While everyone is distracted, Liliha throws the boy into the sea for him to escape while she still got captured by them. Meanwhile, Orinoga got disarmed by the powerful villain and the princess orders him to escape and just run away. She also mentions to save the boy and let him meet the king. The man reluctantly obeys her and jumps to the water afterwards. At least the female commander is pleased on what she got while watching the two drifts away. After a while, Orinoga meets up with the remaining survivors, and delivers the bad news of their princess being taken away by the Valgian soldiers. Along with them going home is Kana, who is entrusted to them going back to Atland. Next they pay their respect to their fallen comrades as they all raises their swords. The hero doesn't want to be left out, so he pulls his knife as well, which causes to get the attention of the leader and angrily ask Kana on why does he have it. He replies Liliha gave it to him when they are descending from the canopy, and added she was the only one he found when he first met her. That afternoon, Atland is within reach and Kana is amazed seeing such a big city. People all around are gossiping of how strange his clothes while he's passing by. They immediately reports to the king right after and Orinoga in regrets to say that the princess has been taken. The minister is assuming that the enemies will use Liliha as a leverage to force them to surrender. They also talked about Liliha's self-organized mission, to go and climb up the canopy to meet the sage himself. But the minister tells the king that it's nothing but a fairy tale. Then Orinoga begs them that they must save the princess. But the king says he has no intention of doing that. It's because of Liliha's reckless action many soldiers have lost their lives. That night, Kana finally settles in his new room, looking now outside his window. He looks at the lights of the city and realizes that these are the lights he is seeing from above the orbital spire tree. He plans on saving Liliha but has no idea of how to do that. Then a person is sneaking in to get inside from his window, and it turns out it's Liliha's younger brother named Yauna. The hero apologizes to him for failing to bring his sister back with him. But the brother is not worried, for he thinks that his sister is very valuable to the Valgian army. Then he shows Kana what the soldiers are really after, and Kana is amazed of how much fresh water that the kingdom has. Yauna has read before that the country of Valgia can move around places, that is why they are stealing water from other countries. He worries that the water in this place is also drying up, so they must do everything to protect it or they won't survive. The brother added that he has a plan to save Liliha, for in 2 days' time, the Valgia's commander will come to the negotiation point and his sister will be there. The hero asks where is it then, and he replies it's the neighboring orbital spire tree. But since the horses are well guarded, it is impossible though on getting there. Kana tells him that he will go there by foot. Then, when he fell into the sea, the orbital spire trees has a wide range of roots and they seemed somehow connected. He will be using the equipment from the canopy to breathe underwater, he says. Watch this next video. See you on the next one.